Well, hey, good day to you. This is Todd. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word. Hey, today's episode is called Details on God's Covenant. Now, when you've read through, we've talked through Genesis already, and we're going through Exodus, there's several times God talks about his covenant with the people of Israel. Really, it starts with Abraham, and God has said, hey, this is my covenant to you, Abraham. And there was a covenant. It wasn't detailed like what we have here today, that we're going to be reading today. And so God continues to restate his covenant with the people. And today he's restating it again and giving more details. And basically the thing is, to simplify it, God is saying to the people, hey, if you simply follow me, I'm going to take care of you. This is the promised land. It's all there for you, okay? But if you don't do that, you're going to be in trouble, all right? You won't have the land eventually. So that's the covenant. But today it gives more details to that, okay? So let's read that today. It's details on God's covenant, and it's taken from Exodus 34, verses 8 through 28. Okay? And it says this: Moses bowed down to the ground at once and worshiped the Lord. If I have found favor in your eyes, then let the Lord go with us. Although this is a stiff-necked people, forgive our wickedness and our sin, and take us as your inheritance. A huge thing Moses is saying there. He's saying, I know we're a bunch of screw-ups, but you've made this covenant to us. Please go with us. Here. Verse 10, Then the Lord said, I am making a covenant with you before all your people, and I will do wonders never before done in any nation in all the world. The people you live among will see how awesome is the work that I, the Lord, will do for you. Obey what I command you today, and I will drive out before you the Amorites, the Canaanites, the Hittites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, and the Jebusites. Okay? God's saying here, I'm making this covenant with you, and I'm going to do these wonders. He'd already done a whole bunch of wonders before this. Just getting the people out of Israel was a big undertaking that God did. And he says, I'm going to do even more wonders, and I'm going to drive out these people. All these people that I just listed there, he's going to drive out. All right, verse 12. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land where you are going, or they will be a snare among you. Break down their altars, smash their sacred stones, and cut down their Asherah poles. Do not worship any of the other gods, for the Lord, whose name is jealous, is a jealous God. Okay? God was driving out these people and destroying these people because they were so full of sin, and they were destroying themselves. Okay, so we're talking about this. We talked about it a couple episodes. Cut out the cancer. God was saying you need to go into this land and you need to destroy everything. There should be no remnant of people left there. There should be no remnant of the things they worshiped, because they were so evil. And he said, don't make treaties with them. Don't marry with them. Don't use their idols. None of that stuff. Stay far away from it, because I'm driving them out because they were so evil. So don't get involved with that. Stay away from it. You're a chosen people. Verse 15. Be careful not to make a treaty with those who live in the land, for when they prostitute themselves to their gods and sacrifice to them, they will invite you, and you will eat their sacrifices. And when you choose some of their daughters as wives for your sons, and those daughters prostitute themselves to their gods, they will lead your sons to do the same. Okay? And that's exactly what happened. When they made treaties and didn't wipe out the enemy totally like that, they intermarried and stuff, and that's what happened. A good example of that is Solomon, the King Solomon. Verse 17, do not make any idols. Celebrate the festival of unleavened bread for 7 days. Eat bread made without yeast, as I commanded you. Do this at the appointed time in the month of Aviv, for in that month you came out of Egypt. Okay, he's talking. Now we're getting into some of the festivals and the way to remember different stuff. And this particular one is like to help them remember how they left Egypt. Verse 19, the first offspring of every womb belongs to me, including all the firstborn males of your livestock. Whether from herd or flock, redeem your firstborn donkey with a lamb. But if you do not redeem it, break its neck. Redeem all your firstborn sons. Okay? When it says redeem the firstborn sons, it didn't mean kill them. It meant to pay like a ransom for it. Okay? It was a symbolic thing to redeem them. But you were to pay a price for that. No one is to appear before me empty-handed. 6 days you shall labor, but on the 7th day you shall rest. Even during plowing season and harvest you must rest. Okay, just another reminder of the Sabbath. Verse 22, celebrate the festival of weeks with the first fruits of the wheat harvest, and the festival of ingathering at the turn of the year. 3 times a year all your men are to appear before the sovereign Lord. Then the God of Israel and I will drive out the nations before you and enlarge your territory, and no one will covet your land when you go up 3 times each year to appear before the Lord your God. When I was reading this earlier today, I found that verse fascinating. I must have skipped over it before, but God is saying no one's even going to covet your land. All right, you're going to drive the people out, and no one's going to have the desire to want that land. All right. It's not because it's a dump of a land, but it's great land. But God is going to put the desires of the heart in the people not to want that land. The enemy won't want that land. No one will come invade because they don't want that land. They won't covet that land. A huge thing there if they simply obey the Lord. Now, when they stop obeying the Lord, He puts that covetousness right in the enemy's heart that they want that land. Verse 25, do not offer blood of a sacrifice to me along with anything containing yeast. Okay, and yeast was symbolic of sin. Don't be mixing that up. And do not let any of the sacrifice from the Passover festival remain until morning. Bring the best of the first fruits of your soil to the house of the Lord your God. Do not cook a young goat in its mother's milk. And then the Lord said to Moses, write down these words, for in accordance with these words I have made a covenant with you and with Israel. Moses was there with the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights without eating or drinking water. And he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. So it ends with saying how Moses was there 40 days and 40 nights, not eating. Okay, that's possible to not eat for 40 days and 40 nights. But drinking, impossible. So we know the Lord was sustaining him during that time. But he was in we'll get into it then the next episode here. He was in the presence of the Lord and so involved with the Lord that didn't feel the need to eat or drink. And the Lord was sustaining him. Okay, so amazing. We don't even fully understand all this. Like, how is it that the Lord, can sustain Moses without him needing food and water? But it just was that way. The Lord sustained him during that time and took care of him. So that's details on the covenant of between God and the people of Israel there. So it's fascinating stuff and stuff we can learn from ourselves. We can learn about God and ourselves through this covenant. Hey, thank you for watching. I'm a regular dude walking in the Word, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we actually conclude Exodus 34. Lord's blessing. I'll see you then.